What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and I'm here today celebrating. Well, basically, I decided to never surrender because I was told to never give up and never surrender because it's the 25th anniversary of Galaxy Quest, and I love this movie. Film stars Tim Allen, Alan Rickman, Sigourney Weaver, Sam Rockwell, Tony Shalhoub. Um, Enrique Colantino, who's getting a lot of praise now for his work on English Teacher. Notice that. Uh, and it's uh, it's a film that it didn't necessarily feel like it was going to be what it is. Like when it landed, it didn't necessarily have a huge opening weekend. It wasn't a huge success. It wasn't destined for greatness. But Galaxy Quest has remained as one of those things where they've tried. There's always been the rumor of a sequel. They've tried seeing if they could do like a TV adaptation. I know it was being kicked around in Amazon for a little while. The idea of doing a Galaxy Quest TV show. Obviously, all of its prospects have completely changed after the passing of Alan Rickman because now they're like, what do we do? Sometimes things are just really good as a film. Like, we don't need sequels to everything. It's okay to just like Galaxy Quest. You know, I think Caddyshack 2 is a great representation of what happens when you just when you try to make something out of nothing, when something, so if you don't have something to do, don't do it. Don't just do it because you think that there's more money to be made out of it. If you don't have a reason to do it, then don't do it. So, um, yeah, this is a film also that is tied to like a very specific point in, so it has like a nostalgia factor to it, which makes it sort of like a desert island movie for me. Yes, this is a desert island movie for me. It's going to get an A+. Spoiler alert. I own this digitally through the Apple Store so I could have it with audio description. I've seen Galaxy Quest many times. I would say at least 10. This maybe might have been my 10th time. Um, and I think it's officially landed into desert island range, is what I'm saying. Like, it's a comfort film. It has so many great moments and quotable lines, and I love Tim Allen's commitment to the role, and I love that Sigourney Weaver's being cast here with her, her sci-fi roots in the thing, and Alan Rickman, his commitment to the craft of acting, he just feels perfect for his role. And this was in 1999 for Sam Rockwell. This is a great year for him. He had Galaxy Quest and Green Mile in theaters at the same time. So people got really familiar with Sam Rockwell really fast. Like, if you didn't know who he was before, you saw him in two standout supporting roles simultaneously. He was in theaters against himself. Like, he was competing against himself at the box office. So, Galaxy Quest was also a movie for me that I started working in movie theaters. My movie theater just missed the holiday season and opened in January of 2000. So I missed the 1999 holiday season. And our big opening movie was Supernova. We opened the weekend of If you don't know the 2000 movie Supernova, your life is probably better. I don't think it's anybody's favorite. James Spader and Angela Bassett are in it. And it did not do well. So we had to fill our theater with films that were already in release, and Galaxy Quest was one of them. And so that's how I have that connection, is even though it had been out in theaters, it was an opening movie for me. And I got to enjoy Galaxy Quest while starting my career of working in movie theaters, which I did for over 10 years. So, yeah, it's tied to this very specific place in time. And you would think that like Supernova, but Supernova sort of has that, except Supernova's not a good movie. So I always have this weird connection to Supernova, obviously, but the rest of them were all movies that had been around in theaters before. Like, we got Toy Story 2. I can't remember all of them right now, but um, it was just a nice, small little six screen theater. So there's only like five other movies. Well, I've listed three of the six so far. Um, but yeah, this was fine. I I liked I like this movie a lot, and it's grown on me. It continues to grow on me, and I think that's the thing about Galaxy Quest is that it started small, a little bit like Austin Powers too. The first Austin Powers didn't explode at the box office, and then it gains so many fans that when you look at the box office difference between the first and second movie, it's exponential. So I can see why they would want to make a second Galaxy Quest, but it's been too long. Um, and we lost Alan Rickman. So, but it's a fun plot. It's a send up of sort of Trekkies and what conventions were like back then or perceived to be, which was for just like extreme super fans and super nerds. And now you've got like people who are going to cons just for clout. You know, like regular people off the street are bragging about how celebrities go to cons. You know, like Snoop Dogg will go to a con, and you're like, what is Snoop Dogg doing at a convention? This feels like so weird for him to be here. But the sort of the stigma of being a nerd has gone away. You know, I mean, you have people like Vin Diesel openly admitting that he plays Dungeons and Dragons, and you're like, you don't look like somebody who would play. And it sort of changes the perception of what it was to be a fan. So now these, obviously San Diego Comic Con is a huge thing, but most conventions have become much bigger events since 1999 because more people go to them because they're not seen as being these events where it's just a whole bunch of super fans who dress up like the characters and go up, which is kind of what Galaxy Quest is sort of poking fun at Star Trek. I could see a Galaxy Quest sequel today doing the same thing and poking fun a little bit at Star Trek and sort of how it's gone and where it's all the different franchises. They could, you know, since they at the end of the movie revived Galaxy Quest, the series, they could have all these different Galaxy Quest spin-offs. That would be funny. Um, you know, sort of like how Paramount Plus has all these Star Trek spin-offs. But otherwise, I don't know what else to do with this series. The question is always, did it hold up? I think Galaxy Quest has held up. I think there are plenty of people who still watch this movie, who still love this movie, who still talk about this movie. Most of the cast is still alive, which really helps because if you're a fan of any of the actors, then you would continue to watch their work. So people who are a fan of Tim or Sigourney or Sam or Tony will continue to watch the film. So Justin Long, but I thought the audio description was really good. I'm glad that, it's sad that I have to, you know, I mean, DVDs were coming around in 1999 too. I had a DVD player and getting DVDs. And we had the technology to be able to do multiple audio tracks. Nobody was thinking that one of those should be audio description. So the funny thing is I own all these DVDs that don't have accessibility, but it seems like such an easy thing to do. You know, I mean, we have director's commentary, we have all these different languages. You know, if you go through your DVD collection, you'll see how many different audio tracks there are on there. But you'll notice how many of your DVDs don't have, or Blu-rays, don't have audio description. So it's sad that I have to own 2 copies of this just so I can have accessibility. Anyway, I really love this movie. I love Galaxy Quest. I'm glad I got to tell you that. And it has a personal connection to me and means it was around for a certain part of my time. And I appreciate it even more because of that. So I'm giving Galaxy Quest an A+. I think you should watch it if you've never gotten a chance to see it. It's really funny. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.